Welcome, everyone, to day 2 of this auspicious HMEC and HMPC 2025. My name is Rinika Bansal, and I will be co-emceeing with my co-MC, Mayuresh Maskar. We'd like to invite Premaji Sundarajan, Kalikaji Uttarkar, and Sunitaji Agrawal to start the program with an opening prayer and Deep Prajwalan. Please come up to the stage. Also, I would like to call Rajendraji to the stage. One mic, it's on right now.
हरिः ॐ आनो भद्राः क्रतवो यन्तु विश्वतो दब्धासो अपरीतास उद्भिदः देवानो यथा सदमिदवृधे असन्नप्रायुवो रक्षितारो दिवे दिवे ॐ शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिः नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योति परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिः जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापम् दीपज्योतिः नमोऽस्तुते भक्त्या दीपं प्रयच्छामि देवाय परमात्मने त्राहि मां निर्यात् घोरात् दीपज्योतिः नमोऽस्तुते ॐ
Thank you for this blessed start for today's conference. Before starting the sessions, here are some baseline rules to be followed for all the sessions throughout this conference. The moderators will set the tone, explain the session flow, and introduce the speakers. Each speaker will have 5 minutes to present their topic. Kindly ensure you stay within the allotted time. Timekeepers will provide reminders to the panelists to keep them informed of the remaining time. When the panelists have 2 minutes remaining, 1 bell ring will be given. When the panelists has 0 minutes remaining, 2 bell rings will be given. Note takers will be taking notes during each session. Along with this, throughout the conference, let's try to maintain a few rules. Please remain silent during all sessions. Make sure your phones are silent or switched off throughout the duration of this event. While the sessions are in progress, kindly remain seated and direct your full attention to the panelists. Thank you.
So, coming up first is session 1, Temples as Anchors of Identity in the Diaspora. In the heart of the diaspora, temples stand as living beacons, preserving heritage, nurturing identity, and uniting communities across generations. This session will explore how temples play a vital role in shaping and sustaining identity for our communities abroad. We would like to invite the moderator for this session, Sri Kumarji Dave, to the stage. Kumarji, representing HTCI, co-founded Bal Gokulam in Indianapolis with his wife 25 years ago. A civil engineer and Vedanta student, he has led HMEC projects, including the 2017 conference and publication efforts. He also serves as Ekal Indiana president, published Hindu Camp's 25 yearbook, and enjoys time with his 7 grandchildren. Let's give him a round of applause as we begin this first session.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste and good morning and welcome to this HMEC HMPC conference. It's been 18th HMEC conference. I have personally attended 16 or 17. Thank you. And I like about this conference because it's not like a good food and good speakers and you go away and good timing that we all are having. But at the end of the conference, there are resolutions and people work round the clock on the resolution. Some publications that we have seen, those all have come from this HMEC. And today also you will see one more publication from HTCI and HMEC collaboration. 25 years of Hindu Heritage Family Camp. We have the book that's going to be published here. So there's a lot to take from this HMEC. So in this particular session, the temple as an anchor of identity in diaspora. We all know how the temple plays important role. I don't have to convince this group, but it's an important function, important place, cultural, art, education center for our Hindu community. So we have 6 speakers here for this session. At this time, I would like to invite all the 6 speakers to come on the dais, please. Srimati Lakshmi Tumalala, Sri Abhishek Bansal, Sri Madan Tirukonda, Sri Madan Gopal Dasji, Sri Keyur Patel, and Sister Ranjan Inamdar. If you are in this hall, please come and have this dais, please. Please come in. Please give them a round of applause for this session. A short introduction and we'll get started. Now I will introduce all at once and they will take over from there. Srimati Lakshmi Tumala is a trustee of Karyasiddhi Hanuman Temple in Frisco, Texas. She played a key role in site selection, construction, and interfaith activities. She is also an active in City of Frisco and has served in various boards and commissions. Shri Abhishek Bansalji is an executive member at Dallas Hindu Temple Ekta Mandir. In addition to executing several events in the Mandir, he chairs the reputed Vidya Vikas School that runs 90 plus classes with 800 students. Wonderful. Led by 100 plus volunteer teachers every Sunday on Dharma, language, and fine arts. Abhishek ji, it's a great job. And I like to see how you sustain this youth. Shri Madan Tirukolanji. Madanji is a senior corporate professional and volunteer at Radhakrishna Temple of Dallas. Lives in Plano, Texas since 2017. He has led initiatives such as Dallas Yoga Festival, taught in the Bal Mukund program, leads the RKT Youth Club, and facilitates weekly Bhagavad Gita study session. Thank you, Madanji. Sri Madan Gopal Dasji from ISKCON. Madan Gopal Das has been a leader in ISKCON for 35 years. He serves as the National Coordinator for ISKCON Communications of North America, GBC Zonal Supervisor for several Northeast temples, and has been serving as the initiating guru since 2023. Welcome. Thank you. Shri Keyur Patel. Keyur Patel represents the Swaminarayan Gurukul Rajkot Sansthan, an institution he has been privileged to serve in various capacities over the years. Guided by his community, he endeavors to adhere to the principle of spiritual equality espoused by Bhagwan and his Gurudev. Welcome, Keyur Bhai. Sister Ranjan Inamdar. BK Ranjan Didi joined the Brahma Kumaris in London in 1982 and has served in Texas and nearby Texas for 25 years. Welcome. She has conducted retreats in Central America and Caribbean. She received a certificate of appreciation from Congresswoman A.D. Bernice Johnson and Eleanor Roosevelt Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, Sister Ji. Welcome. Welcome to all the speakers. And at this time, I would like to invite Sri Abhishek Bansalji to have his talk. Thank you.
Dhanyavad Dabeji, and pranam to all the members of the HMEC conference. And I'm very, very proud to be a spokesperson for the Mandir today that is also hosting this reputed conference today. A clicker. As some of you may know that the DFW Hindu Mandir is the, as we say, the mother temple of the Metroplex. It was founded or inaugurated in 1991. So we are in its 34th year of operation. We proudly have 16 Pran Pratisthit deities. You've seen some of the facilities of the Mandir. We'll be happy to give you a tour of the facilities, and as well as our priest services represented by every single region of the nation. We are very, very proud to have such a vast coverage in our Mandir. The morning is not complete without darshan, so let me just roll through our deities once for you all. So Mahalakshmi Devi is the presiding deity of our Mandir, along with Saraswati Devi, who's the most recent addition to our Pran Pratisthit deities who arrived in 2025 this year. So, and we have Gayatri Devi, the whole Mahadev Shivji, Somnathji, Durga Ambaji, Ganeshji, obviously, and Kartikeji. We also have the full, so starting with Vittal Rakhumai, Radha Krishna, Srinathji, as well as Jagannathji Bhagwan. And we also are proud to have Venkateshwar Sri Narayan, Sitaram Lakshman Dharam Parivar, as well as Hanumanji Sankat Mochan. And our Ayyappa Swamiji Maharaj, Shri Dattatreya, as well as Navgraha. So I hope you all got a blissful darshan right in the morning. And just a little more about the Mandir. We proudly host 100 plus events every year, right? This includes weekly events like Shivabhishekam, Hanuman Chalisa, and so on. There are monthly events, Sankat Chaturthi, Devi Jagran, Sundarkand, Yagnas, and Nadupasana, and so on. There are annual events which are, just last week we concluded a very grand Ganeshotsav here. We do a grand Navratri celebration, Brahmotsavams, Sastralingarchana events, obviously the Holi Utsav, the Diwali Utsavs, the list goes on, and we're very, very very proud that all of these, we also have all of these services. So you can see that we have as the role of the mandir is to provide all of these services. So we provide health services like the free medical clinics, blood drives, and so on. We do Annadanam, so we run a free Mahaprasad every Sunday, and for every special event that happens in the mandir. We do community services like senior citizen meetups, there are career counseling, college counseling, and so on. And of course, the thing that I'm personally very proud of is the Vidya Danam, which is the Vidya Vikas school that Daveji just mentioned. So let me take you a little bit of, give you a little bit of a preview of our Vidya Vikas school that runs every Sunday. I'm going to play a small video.
सरस्वती माता की ओम नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव.
So you can see it is just this hall, the same very hall that we are all in, that we hold this assembly, and the hall is full with students. So just some facts about the mandir. We have 90 at this school. We have 90 plus courses offered with, as you can imagine, with 700 plus young students or youth students and 150 adult students. We offer 8 languages. You can see we've got most of the widely spoken languages along with Sanskrit. There are fine arts, there are advanced topics like Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, SAT prep, and so on. And also we offer a summer school with a variety of topics. Again, all of this is made possible by 125 teacher volunteers working every single Sunday at the school. So lastly, to conclude, again, very, very proud to host you all. For me, the mandir is my second home. And I'll just close with a prayer that we always chant. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kashyate dukkha bhag bhavet. Namaskar.
Jai Guru Datta, Jai Guru Hanuman. I'm here to talk a little bit about Bhagavad Gita chanting at Karya Siddhi Hanuman Temple in Frisco. But before talking about Bhagavad Gita, I'll take a minute just to talk about the temple. The founder of Karya Siddhi Hanuman Temple is Sri Ganapati Sachidananda Swamiji of Avadhuta Dattapeetham in Mysore, India. Sri Swamiji started Hanuman Temple back in 2007. So Hanuman Temple is a beacon that shines bright in the city of Frisco, offering a place for all Hindus to gather, to pray, to give back, to showcase performing arts, and most importantly, to inculcate their faith, the Hindu faith, to the next generation. But not only is Hanuman Temple a place for Hindus, we have many people who come just to have a look, because it is on the city of Frisco's top 10 things to see in Frisco. It also, it also shows up on many reels on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. And that has brought a wave of people just to see the temple. And we have a small video where we will show you what the temple is today. Remember, founded in 2007 by Swamiji. In 2009, a modest building was put in place to serve as the temple for 7 years. And 2015, a 33,000 square foot temple was inaugurated by Puja Swamiji. Mahakumbhabhishekam for the Markata Hanuman temple was done in 2015. Here's a small video of the temple that will play as I'm speaking. You can go ahead and play the video, please. Today, Hanuman temple has 12 priests. The weekly attendance on Saturday is the range of 10 to 11,000 people every Saturday. On Sundays, about 7,000 people, and on weekdays, about 2,000 people per day. Hanuman Temple has 12 priests, but you can imagine that a temple of this size needs lots of volunteers. We have more than 500 volunteers at the temple, in the canteen, as well as at the temple itself. The video playing is a video of Hanuman Temple today. The main thing, two things I want to talk about Hanuman Temple is community service. The temple gives back in many ways, but one is the health fair, the community service by giving food donations. But the thing that we want to focus on today is Bhagavad Gita. If you can please switch to the Bhagavad Gita pictures. In 2015, after the Mahakumbhabhishekam, Puja Swamiji made a statement. He said, I wish 18 children would memorize the Bhagavad Gita, memorize all 700 shlokas in 9 months. That was in 2015. In 2015, we had 18 children who achieved what seemed at that time an impossible and miraculous task. The pictures that you see on the screen now were from this year. And now there are 7,000 people who have memorized the entire Bhagavad Gita. Over 10 years, 7,000 memorizers, 10,000 plus fluent readers, 14 countries. This is the wave of this Mahayagna of Bhagavad Gita chanting throughout the world. The pictures that you see here were from July of this year, where Bhagavad Gita was chanted to a completely full Credit Union of Texas in Allen Stadium, and the entire Bhagavad Gita was chanted. So this program is continuing, and every year we have more and more and more registrations around the world. So this is one way that the future generation is getting involved and knowing about their culture, their religion, and the power of the Bhagavad Gita, the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita, all of these things. These are the pictures that you're seeing today. There's so much more that I can say, but 5 minutes is up. So thank you very much. Jai Guru Datta, Jai Guru Hanuman.
Can we get the slide there? Oh, yes, that's fine. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Namaste. My heartfelt gratitude to all the organizers of this Mahakumbh of Sanatan traditions, where so many of you dedicated leaders have gathered to reflect and share and strengthen the Dharma on this continent. I represent the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, but today I speak as a humble member of the broader Hindu family, all of you, all of us, where our temples, our murtis, our festivals, and traditions form the spiritual lifeline for millions of families living in the diaspora. As the saying goes, home is where the heart is. But for us, home is where the murti is. So for us who are living far from the sacred land of Bharat, murti is not just a symbol. It is sakshat, the living presence of the divine in our homes, in our temples. The murti is where the infinite becomes intimate, where philosophy becomes personal, and where family life, our family life, is centered on dharma. In America, where children grow up surrounded by competing worldviews, the murti provides them a visual, experiential, and emotional connection with the Supreme. And when a family bows before the Murti, offers a lamp, or sings kirtan together, they create a shared spiritual memory, an inheritance of faith that binds generations together. Temples in the US are not just places of worship, they are universities of dharma, where our children and youth are curious. They ask, why do we offer this food? Why so many forms of God? Why circumambulate and go around? What is this pradakshina? Why are you singing and chanting? When we answer, their faith deepens. And when we avoid explaining, they drift away. So, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, emphasized this balance very beautifully. He said, religion without philosophy is sentiment. And philosophy without religion is just dry speculation. Both are needed. Philosophy gives our faith intellectual foundation. And the ritual and the deity worship, the Murti Seva, gives it heart, gives it experience. The temples combine these and to become magnets for seekers. Not just Hindus, but people from every background who are drawn to the depth and beauty of Sanatana Dharma. So in America, faith must be experienced, not just inherited. The temples that integrate deity worship, scriptural education, engaging youth programs, community sevas, these temples become living ecosystems of devotion, belonging, and inspiration, where children participate in Aarti, hear stories from Bhagavad Gita, and so on. Not just about what we do, but why we do it. So, in closing, the call to unity, as we gather at this historical conference, this Mahakumbh of the Hindu diaspora, let us remember our diversity of sampradayas, our rituals, our traditions is our strength. But what unites us greater is our shared commitment to Sanatana Dharma and to creating spiritual homes for future generations. Temples are not just physical structures, they are lighthouses of hope that keep our families rooted, our children inspired, and our heritage alive. Let us collaborate, as we're doing right now, across temples, across traditions, across continents, to ensure that wherever the Murti of the Lord resides, faith flourishes, families thrive, and the next generation carries the torch of Sanatana Dharma forward. So let's engage and encourage all others that you know to please attend this HMEC conference in the future. We want to fill this hall completely. The next one should be in a stadium. So please take a moment, make a note, and encourage all your fellow leaders to come and join us. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Jai Swaminarayan, everyone. I'm going to build up on what the magnificent speakers who are ahead of me. We know in this world reality is objective and independent of individual beliefs. Two such realities exist, which is consciousness and the material world around us. And to comprehend the reality is what gives us happiness and bliss. And knowing our place within reality is something that will bring not only us happiness, but any generation happiness. To understand reality, the one that we live with, consciousness and the material world, we have to go beyond science. Science, captures everything in terms of object and matter. And for that, we need the basis and the foundation of scriptures. Scriptures and murtis, as we just heard about. Scriptures like the Vedas, they introduce us to reality in the form of Bhagwan, the ultimate, the supreme personality, the creation of Bhagwan, the cosmos, and the ways in which we can interact and live within that reality. The ways in which we interact with those realities need to be simplified in the context of current world. And that's what we try to do at Swaminarayan Gurukul. One of the principles of Sri Swaminarayan Gurukul and our founder, Sri Dharmadeva Das Ji Swami, Shastriji Maharaj, was Pravartaniya Sadvidya Bhuvi Yat Sukrutam Mahat. We heard about, 7,000 kids memorizing the Bhagavad Gita and Murti Puja as propagated by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami, Prabhupada Swami, right? Those values and those principles is something that Shastriji Maharaj envisioned to be inculcated in kids from an early age. And that's when he founded the Gurukul in 1948. He started with 6 or 7 students, an institution that has now grown into having over 50 or 60 branches worldwide, providing education to underprivileged in parts of India where even the local governments cannot reach. So even at this point, after 75 years, there have been over 100,000 students who have not only received education, but morals and ethics in their lives. What we do here within North America is transcend the same values within kids, like no stealing, no alcohol, no adultery. Those values start at an early age, then help and modify and transform their lives as they grow and go into, let's say, high schools and adulthood. And that is our humble and sincere attempt at making sure that our Sanatana Dharma values propagate and continue beyond our generation. And Bal Sanskar, which is the founding cornerstone of Swaminarayan Gurukul, happens to be one of the activities. The other things that we also have here, not only in Dallas, but all across the United States, are satsang assemblies. Every Saturday here in Plano, there are about 600 to 700 devotees who gather in the chanting and reciting kirtans and discourse, knowing the values of Sanatan Dharma and Bhagavan Swaminarayan. In conclusion, we will continue on our path of providing these values through Bal Sanskar, through satsang activities, and through community service, which not only engages young children, but also families. And hopefully through that endeavor, we continue on propagating the values of Sanatan Dharma. Jai Swaminarayan.
Radhe Radhe, Namaste, and good morning to everyone. I'm so privileged and honored to be in the midst of Swamiji and all the experts, scholars, and everybody that will be presenting their viewpoints today. So I'm from Radhakrishna Temple. I'm here to present some of the practices that worked for us, and I'm so looking forward to learning from all of the presenters here as well. So Radhakrishna Temple is Radhakrishna Temple was founded in 2017 by our founder, Swami Mukundananda Ji, who has given us this vision that temples need to be the nucleus of community. So ever since then, our temple has been a vibrant spiritual and cultural hub for the Hindu community in Dallas-Fort Worth. Rooted in Sanatan Dharma and guided by our founder, Swamiji, the temple offers holistic experience in devotion, culture, and community for all seekers. Beyond the traditional offerings, the temple also offers enriching programs throughout the year. Now, I would like to focus on four, four pillars, devotion, Hindu festival, youth and children program, yoga, and community services. Next. In the devotion and Hindu festivals, which is the core of our temple, and of course all of the temples around here, we conduct a regular satsangs since the inauguration in 2017. Numerous Abhishek, Havan, Puja services are offered throughout the week. We offer 100 plus free online classes to teach Vedic wisdom. So we essentially take all that Swamiji compassionately teaches us, and then we use these platforms to disseminate to the community. The Hindu festivals are celebrated with great enthusiasm throughout the year. And I'll show you some of the pictures in the next few slides. And these celebrations draw tens and thousands of devotees to the temple. Next. You'll see Janmashtami Mahotsav here, where we have the jhankis, we have cultural programs, Dahi Handi, and Swamiji performing Jhulan. That draws so many devotees to the temple and inspires them towards the path of bhakti. And second, the next slide, Ram Navami celebration, very similar manner. You'll even see cake cutting, you will see procession of Ram Lala. That all brings the divine inspiration that people have been seeking for. And then the second pillar for us is the youth and children's program. This caters all age groups, starting with the Bal Mukund program that Swamiji designed for young minds. He has composed to return about more than 24 books for children that impart the Vedic knowledge in the little hearts, whether it is Ramayana, Mahabharata, or inspiring stories for children. And so those are all part of Bal Mukund program. And now when the kids graduate and become youth, teenagers and above, there is a special program to cater to their evolving needs as well, such as leadership, communication, community service, their seva mindset, and then college and career exploration. We also have Toastmasters that caters to the active listening, bringing up leadership skills, communication skills for young children as well. Next slide. And then the third pillar for us is a yoga and wellness program. This is, we have a Prem Yoga Center that offers daily classes. And we also have Prem Yoga Academy that trains teachers in 200-hour and 300-hour yoga program. And finally, there's a Dallas Yoga Festival, which is a festival that we have been conducting since 2015, even before the temple started, when the International Day of Yoga was first announced. And ever since, we have been conducting this program, drawing thousands and thousands of people to get inspired and practice all the wellness programs that have been inspired by India. And you will see some of the pictures there. You will see Surya Namaskar, holistic sound healing. Swamiji always graces us every year with this keynote speech that really inspires thousands of people in person and online as well. And finally, we have community services. We partner with several local organizations, including Allen Community Outreach, Allen Police Fire Department, North Texas Food Bank. We do cleanup services frequently. And then that also brings a lot of volunteering opportunities to youth and parents as well. And in conclusion, temples have been a sacred cultural and community epicenters, bridging the divine and the everyday. Their functions span spiritual practices, education, cultural preservation. Since the inception, Radhakrishna Temple has stood as a nucleus of the community and a beacon of devotion and cultural radiance. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, and good morning to all of our respected guests here, our brothers and sisters. Many, many congratulations to those who share in their presentation last night and also now. I'm so glad that how much everyone is making effort with a lot of love. And so many, many congratulations, and we'll continue to hear more in these 2 days. You must be thinking what Brahma Kumaris are doing. Huh? So we are worldwide organization. We have centers in 120 countries, more than 10 to 12,000 centers. And what we teach, what we learn and teach is cleaning the self spiritually. It is now time that we see the condition of the world since many decades, that the world situation is becoming worse day by day, including the climate. And so what is our duty? What would God want us to do? What God wants us to do? To take care of ourselves, transform ourselves, because God's task is to, during this transit, God's task is to again re-establish Sanatana Dharma, Devta Dharma, and the kingdom both in Bharat. Bharat being spiritual land, or spiritual country, but land originally Bharat Khanda has spread the fragrance, all these temples, and the proof we are so dedicated to seva. And our seva is to teach the original ancient culture of Bharat and how our ancestors, deities, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi and Rama Sita, and their kingdom taught us a lot, and we share with others how the divinity, how the divine world and divine kingdom was ruled in Bharat, and how to become again the masters of the land of Bharat. We all know that the souls go through the stages, elements go through the stages Sattva Pradhan, Rajo Pradhan and Tama Pradhan. When the souls, human souls and the world elements come to the stage of total Tama Pradhan, degraded, need to be reformed again. And with our spiritual endeavor, tapasya, with Gyan, yoga, inculcating divine virtues and doing service of the humanity, we again are going to bring the golden age of Bharat and how to transform the world. All our efforts and whatever love that we are putting is going to be fruitful soon, and it is going to be victorious. We are going to be victorious in the world, and so definitely I'm so happy to be here, and congratulations to our HMEC team and how they have arranged this, and I'm so happy that it is happening in Dallas this time. And my lots of good wishes and pure feelings to all of you for the future success of the service. We have centers everywhere. We have center and retreat place here in Dallas. I would like all of you to come and visit, stay a little longer and be with us and enjoy your trip. But whoever can come, please come and visit our center. It's not too far, 15 minutes far from here. So thank you all for coming and attending this. And I'm so happy to see all of you and Sister Vallabhaji and Tejal Benji and all the team. And of course, we are backbone here, whatever we could do little. So we are so happy. Thank you all.
Thank you. So yesterday I heard that the Hiten said that the temple is a Wi-Fi for the ancient time. even Wi-Fi for modern time also. And as you can see, all the speakers in their respective areas are doing and spreading Sanatan Dharma and values. Give them a round of applause for all the part. Thank you so much. Your contribution is immense and we appreciate. Thank you all. Okay, we have time for 2 questions. Not the comments or the essay.
This is not a question. It is a compliment to all the Sanatanis in Houston area, in Dallas area, that they are all Arke Yog. Radhakrishna Mandir has forgotten to mention that Diwali Mela is organized under their leadership. All the organizations are coming under their umbrella. So that is the biggest thing, and more than 80,000 people visit that Mela. So that's you must mention.
Only one more question. Question only.
This is amazing work. You have schools in so many temples. Are you planning to raise them to a higher level, make them universities like we used to have in ancient India?
Anybody would like to answer? Can you repeat the question? Yeah,
I've heard several speakers talk about schools in the temples. Are you planning to raise them to a higher level, to a university level also, like we used to have in ancient India?
So just to add, in our Vidya Vikas school, we run classes for 18 plus students too. So we run classes for Upanishads, Gita, Sanskrit, and so on. So it's not a university accredited class. And at the back of the booth, we have the Hindu University of America and the International Hindu University. They are offering those services. But as a school, Sunday school, we do offer classes for 18 plus.
Thank you for the question. So one of the things that Swaminarayan Gurukul is starting, we don't have formal accredited education through our facilities right now. But one of the things we are wanting to embark on and we're actively working towards is starting to provide math and science and reading classes to kids. So eventually our hope is within, let's say, maybe after my generation or when I pass away, we will have a formal educational school or facility in the United States, in North America. And, maybe 50, 100 years from now, we will eventually want to build on to that and form a university. But for now, what we are starting to do is providing SAT and ACT classes and math and science or reading classes.
Thank you very much. And in ISKCON, in the UK, we have 5 what we call Avanti schools. They're very popular. Even the Queen and King went and visited them. And now we're opening a new one here in the US for the first time. It'll be sponsored not just by ISKCON, but also we have ISKCON-based schools that are funded by the government. We have 2 of them in Florida that have been operating for about 15 years already, K through 12. And this Avanti school is starting in New Jersey very shortly. That's going to be K through 12 as well. And then, of course, we're very happy to see if you turn back, you have the International Hindu University and the Hindu University of America. They're already here. So we have beginning to end Hinduism covered. Hare Krishna.
So I'd like to quickly mention about an initiative that is run by JK Yoga, which is the Radhakrishna Temple is the headquarters of JK Yoga organization. Even though we do not have physical school presence here in the States, we are building a university, Jagat Guru Kripali University in Odisha, and that will serve as the center place through which we will be conducting online support, collaborating with the universities here in the US. So that program will be starting next year. So very happy to know that there are a lot of collaboration opportunities in the future. Thank you for your question.
So great question and great answers. So we have a room for one more question. Again, question only.
There is in the front here.
Who has?
Ladies first.
I'm in dilemma.
नहीं आप उनको भी दीजिए।
नहीं, आप
अच्छा नमस्ते ये यूनिवर्सिटी की बात आई तो आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क he's one of our board member from International Hindu University, so he asked more the merrier, so many more universities आप लोग कर ही रहे हैं वो सारा काम और हम चाहते हैं कि वो यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल में आ ही जाएगा आई एम फ्रॉम इंटरनेशनल हिंदू यूनिवर्सिटी academic chair, so I know it is not a difficult task because आप लोग हुलियन task कर रहे हैं जो हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं. So we are all like, volunteers doing it, and you have been doing much more than us. Let's have university. That is the reason why he asked this question. I just added it to him. But then I'm very sure हमारे जाने के बाद नहीं, हम जब जिंदा हैं, हम कर सकते हैं. ये उम्मीद है हमें. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I just want to be fair with this Sanatani Yodha here, who is clapping very loudly and energetically.
Namaste. One day I want to give a class how to clap properly. I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm very amazed the kind of things I'm hearing about Houston, Dallas. One thing I want to know a little more, the 15,000 youth chanting Gita. Just explain me what kind of mainstream media attention you got.
The question was, what type of mainstream media
Attention you got. Coverage.
attention we got? So it was covered on many news channels in India. In the United States, it was covered in a couple of articles and newspapers. I won't say it was on TV media, but it was covered throughout India. In 2023, there was a Guinness World Record achieved for Sahasragala Mahayajna, which means more than 1,000 people chanted from memory. Guinness World Record was there. 1,241 was the count on that day for memorizers who chanted at Allen Event Center. So there's a lot of media coverage through articles as well as in India.
Thank you.
So Karyasiddhi Hanuman Temple is in Frisco, which is where the program started in Dallas, okay? However, there are now, I'm checking my notes, we have 30 centers in the United States now, in many different states. So it is open to all. We even have a center here in Irving. The temple is not in Irving, but Bhagavad Gita teaching is happening in Irving as well as Frisco, as well as online, as well as in about 15 states in the United States with 30 centers. So it's available for everybody. The first year, when there were 18 children, honestly, they were mainly devotees of Sri Ganapati Satchidananda Swamiji. After that, the word spread, and so many people from all areas, all languages, all states heard that their neighbors' kids, their friends' kids memorized Bhagavad Gita, and now they want their children to do the same thing. So it is open for everybody. Registration always starts in August, and it's in August until May, with the final chanting happening in July. So it is open for everybody.
Thank you.
So, I'll just make one statement. The chanting itself by, such a big number of kids is a massive feat in itself. But think about the number of hours each kid had to put behind that. And in order to accomplish that, they had to stay away from video games, or they had to stay away from TV. And that is not going to be noticed anywhere. But that is a huge, huge accomplishment on their part.
And one more thing, the age range, the youngest child to ever memorize Bhagavad Gita, anybody knows how young? In this program, anybody know? 3.
Ooh.
Which, and the eldest, anybody want to guess the eldest? 85. So I would say that nothing is impossible. And for that 3-year-old, kudos to that mom and dad, because there's no way. I know how many hours they spent. That little girl is in Frisco. She's in Dallas. Her parents spent countless hours. And Swamiji said very clearly that she began learning in the womb. And that's why she was able to do it at 3, because her mother learned when she was expecting that child.
Thank you. I think this, go ahead.
Just to add, our event MC, Mayuresh, was one of the students who chanted the Bhagavad Gita as part of those Guinness Book.
So one more round of applause for their contribution and speech today. Thank you. Now it's time for a keynote speeches. So at this time, I would like to invite on the stage Shri Swami Swatmanandaji and Bhakti Rakshaka Swamiji on the stage, please.
We will have the MC read out the bio for each of our keynote speakers.
Once again, thank you to the amazing panel, giving a wonderful start to today's informative schedule. The panelists have definitely inspired me to do a Mandir Yatra to all these mandirs in Dallas. Next, we would like to invite both of our keynote speakers, Swami Swatmananji and Swami Bhaktiji Rakshaka. Sri Swami Swatmananji, a scholar and global ambassador of Vedic wisdom, teaches Hatha Yoga, meditation, Jyotisha, Ayurveda, Vastu, and Vedanta. Active in intercultural and interreligious dialogue, he previously had a career in technology, venture capital, and international development, participating in over 42 organizations before pursuing spiritual studies under Pujya Swami Dayanandaji. Please join me in welcoming Swami Swatmananji. Next.
Mayuresh, we will have his keynote address and then we will introduce Swami Bhakti Rakshaka. Sure. Okay, thank you so much.
I'll put on the mic back again. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Before I begin, I think I'd like to give a lot of gratitude and thanks and appreciation to Tejalji, VHPA, HMEC, the staff and volunteer and the members who work extreme hours to make this thing happen. Let's give them a hand of applause, please. So my topic today is working with Sanatana Dharma. And as you know, in order to protect our Dharma, we need dharmis. I think everybody knows that. Because every time I go to some of these conferences, not only in the US, but in Europe and in India, it is pretty well known. And in all of those conferences, the thing that we hear most is, we must do this, and we must. And my question then is, what exactly should we do? And very quickly, the more I start pursuing what exactly should we do, the we must changes into you must. So that you must becomes a rather discouraging fact, because then it's me giving lectures or they wanting everybody to do something, but then we somehow fail to come collectively to pursue it. So I looked at this from not only within the Hindu diaspora here in the US, but looking at it from all over around the world. Our nature, who we are as Dharmis, is to provide the world, everyone, with open heart. We do it innately. Of course, we go to different places and we start struggling, we start competing, but innately, we have that generosity to everybody. And we don't limit this generosity to just ourselves. We welcome other traditions, other belief systems. And in India, for over I would say, 2,000 years, we have welcomed other people to come in. We have provided them shelter. We gave them places to worship. We provided even funding for them to thrive. We not only allowed them to try to sort of like to thrive by themselves, we included them into our tradition. This is our way. You know, this is who we are. This is Sanatana Dharma way. But then, and when we go outside India, we carry that value. Wherever we've gone throughout the world for almost 500 years, 400 years, you'll see that we still have the same value. We work really hard, we start from nothing, and we build a community, a healthy community. We succeed through resilience, a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline, a lot of struggle for the benefit of our kids. And in almost every field, not all, because in every field we do really well. I would say except in sports maybe and in politics. But our successes is actually celebrated in silence. We don't seem to get a lot of attention, but when we do, it turns out to be rather negative. In that, because we succeed, it brings in scrutiny. It brings in envy. And with that, when we, as seen as outsiders, do very well, it gives rise to hostility. Now, we as a community, as Dharmis, we fail to come together to present our narratives. On the other hand, our detractors weaponize politics and media, or whatever means they have, to attack us. And we have seen this. Our rise and our successes gives rise to local resentment, losses, victimization, marginalization, and even prosecution. We've seen this historically. And if you go back in Malaysia, East Indies, we saw similar problems. Come back to Africa, we see similar problems. Mahatma Gandhi ji, actually in 1893-94, struggled in South Africa. When he started his struggles, he was not helped by the Hindu community. In fact, they discouraged him. They even went against him. They supported the apartheid government to attack him. In fact, they provided, intelligence against him. Yet he overcame those challenges and became who we know him to be. He was a warrior that changed many lives, from Mahatma Luther King here in America to other peace movements around the world. Nelson Mandela is a great example. So what we see is that what Mahatma Gandhi did was based on our Sanatana Dharma. the power of it. So in order to really look at it from the East Indies to Africa to West Indies to Europe, and now more recently in the US or in North America, we see the struggles are always the same. So the point is that in 200 years since we have information, we consistently do the same thing. We go to foreign countries, we succeed economically, maybe intellectually, culturally, but we never really succeed in maintaining and preserving what we earned and worked so hard for. The plight of Hindus around the world is pretty well known. In fact, I would recommend somebody doing a study on it. And we see the history repeating itself for hundreds of years. Are we learning? You know, we are very good at building temples around the world, not only in the US, but then we flee from political investment or involvement. Everywhere you go, it's the same. Not only in the US, it's in Africa, we did the same thing. And if you all recall, in 1972, Indians were kicked out of Uganda. In East Africa, they were not kicked out as harshly as what happened in Uganda, but their properties were nationalized. And this continued to happen in Zambia and many other African countries because that was the movement. Those who managed came here. Most of them went to Uganda, to England, and maybe some retired back to India. But the story line is always the same. Sanatanis go overseas, do well, they cannot keep it. It's time we learn from that, understand our history, because this is not, I'm not presenting anything new. What I'm saying is that look at what has happened the last 200 years. Let's not even go back far. See the successes that we have attained in every culture around the world. Have we retained it? See the struggles we have faced there. What are the challenges that we have faced there? Have we actually done something to deal with it? Our detractors, a group, our brothers, our Muslim brothers, for instance, after September 11th, they could not walk around claiming that they were Muslims for about 10 years. They woke up. Our Jewish brothers were doing exactly the same thing we were doing for 2,000 years in Europe. It took Hitler to wake them up. For the Muslims, it took September 11th to wake them up. Are we waiting for something to happen to our community before we can come together? Is a question we should ask. I examined this and I saw that I actually saw this at a very early age. And I gave a speech. I was, I think, in college, very young, in Washington, D.C., at the Association of Indians in America in 1984 at the annual banquet. And I made this statement. I was a youth representative, a national youth representative at that time, very active, very inspired. And the group I was with, I thought would help us come together. But what ended up happening for the most part, which is typically of what happens with our Indian organizations, is that when we see young people, we typically use them as errand boys or, give them assignments to run around and get things done. And that's kind of how I spent my 3 years with AIA. I asked to give a little speech, which I did in Washington at that time. And I said very clearly, it was a long speech, but the nutshell of what I said was, without political divestiture and strategic public relations, these are two really, really fundamental key points. The success of Indians in America will give rise to local resentment and fuel communal strife. Now, so far, 40 years later, slightly over 40 years, we see local resentment. We haven't come to the level of communal strife, but if you look around the world, Dharmis have faced communal strife. Go all the way back to Malaysia, East Indies, Indonesia, come back to East Africa, come even South Africa. Europe, it's happening now, and North America is happening now, okay? And when the local community, whether it's the natives or other detractors from other belief systems, if they want to attack us, where do they go? To the temples. The mosques get attacked. Synagogues gets attacked. In our case, we just start seeing a rise of our temples getting desecrated. Our communities are getting threatened. It's become a topic that nobody would think about even 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Okay? It's become a major topic now. But I did try to bring this up 41 years ago. And when I did make this speech, everyone looked at me like I don't know what I was talking about. In fact, I don't think there were a few people that gave me a polite clap, and that was it. Now, if we look at this, it's not only that our temples are getting desecrated, our community is getting attacked, it's that our kids have been bullied in schools, they've been made fun of, and we haven't come up to save them from that situation, okay? They then hide their identity. They're not proud of being Hindus, and it starts at that age, okay? Then now we see in America people losing their jobs because of religious bias, or them getting attacked because they're Hindus. We see the rise of Hinduphobia. We see conferences that wants to dismantle Hindutva or Hinduism. Because if you look at Hindutva, as you all know, Hindutva is just Hinduness. It's not right-wing or left-wing. Sweetness is not right-wing or left-wing. It's just the ness of the sweetness, of being sweet. Hindutva, if they say they're dismantling Hindutva because they put it into the box of right-wing movements, they're by default canceling all Hindus. So I started getting more and more involved in trying to understand why an organization or a group of people would create an organization where create a conference called Dismantling Hindutva. And in my research all these past few years is that I began to realize that there's a lot of money coming in. Our detractors, they have billions of dollars per year. One group has $56 billion, I'm told, coming in a year to support their agenda. Can we raise even 100,000 to protect ourselves? They have offices in all major cities in the world. Beautiful offices. I went to one in Washington, D.C., which is right there by the Potomac. Elegant office. All of these offices are not run by immigrants. They're run by the first generation. Young people who are educated here, who grew up here, who know how to communicate with the local culture, they know the language, they know the business culture, and they present themselves incredibly well. The way they speak, you enjoy listening to them. Whether it's right or wrong, that's a different story, but you can actually have a conversation with them. They use the money to fund political candidates. In Africa, in other parts of the world, for instance, if I want to set up a mosque, I would know where to go, and I would get money to build a mosque. So in India, where places there weren't many mosques, now you'll see mosques popping up almost every block. I go to Kerala, and I'm really saddened to see the entire state converted to Christian or Muslim, all surrounding our incredibly beautiful temples. The temples in Kerala were preserved due to Shivaji, or the south was preserved because of Shivaji stopping the Mughals to come in. Now, when you see East India, for instance, also the conversion rate and the dharma is being lost, how can we protect our dharma? When you lose dharmis on one level, they're not able to protect dharma. We keep talking in these conferences, we must protect, but exactly how? So this is one concern that I have. And while I was looking at this whole dismantling Hindutva thing, I began reading articles that put all our Hindu organizations here in the US as right-wing organizations. Did we really step up and try to change that narrative? Yeah. We sit quietly. We make some noise. For the most part, our response in all of the difficult situations and the challenges we have is usually silence or indifference. And when we respond, we are reactive rather than proactive. The idea that we are reactive, what happens is we have lost half of the battle. We can't win that situation. We make a lot of noise, writing to the Congress people, or doing this, putting protests. Look at the result from that. It's not much. We haven't achieved much. Yes, we might actually save the situation temporarily, but what is happening in that process is that our detractors are learning. And when they come back again, they come back stronger because they have the finances, they have the strategic planning and thinking. They're so well organized that we are anywhere close compared to what they are doing. Most of our responses are amateurist. And if you overall look at it, if you look at it from the forest perspective, not the individual achievements we make, which is a lot, we do individually, and individual paramparas achieve a great deal. But as a collective, we are lacking severely. So in order to really deal with this situation, of course, we need funding, but that's not going to happen. But as leaders, we need to come together and come up with a strategic plan, which is to build solidarity between temples and organizations and community, which is what is happening right now with VHP and HMEC. This is really commendable. But we need to also empower our youth, support them in their political engagements, and we have to create an awareness campaigns that would promote Sanatana Dharma in the right way. In short, basically, we need to come up collectively with a master plan in these 4 areas. One is advocacy, which is basically not only activism and dealing with the onslaught of attacks, but also trying to bring in, for instance, at this stage, we have so many of our Hindu young people who are lawyers, and they're very successful lawyers. It'd be good to bring them together. So we need a plan for establishing a strategic way of dealing with adversary. The other challenge that we have is that the next generation of our Sanatana Dharma, they are not engaged. If we look at all our programs, is basically immigrants making plans for immigrants. The next generation, first generation are absent. Now, the programs we saw about the chanting and so on is amazing, but the engagement of the first generation is absent, and they are not aware, and they lose our dharma, our culture, our value system. Look at the second generation. They don't even speak the mother tongue. The immigrants will probably force their children to do something. So the children will do it. When they come home, they'll speak, Gujarati or Telugu or Tamil. But then their children are always speaking English. And the first way to degrade or to corrode our culture is speaking a different language than your mother tongue at home. So we also need to be educated what dharma really is, because we fail to teach our children what that is. Most immigrants learned it from India. You grew up in the culture, so you didn't have to be taught. Your parents don't know. My parents didn't know. In fact, because my parents didn't know, I grew up in Africa. I did not grow up in India. And what happened was I became an anti-Hindu. And it took Westerners to teach me about Hinduism. And because of them, then I met my guru, who then brought me into Vedanta and made me who I am. But it was my personal search, which not many people can do. So parents need to know exactly what Sanatana Dharma is, not tell your kids, do what I say. Because the way we grew up is like, our parents told us, do what I tell you, don't ask questions. With next generation, it doesn't work. We need to know scientifically, intellectually, logically, why are we doing these things? And I know there's some effort being made to that. So with that, then we can inspire our next generation to do that. But more than anything else, for the current crisis that we're dealing with, we really need a collective mindset to design a strategic public relations program, which would help us do the PR with our society that we live in. The public relations program is incredibly sophisticated. None of us are doing that. We can't do it individually. A lot of different organizations are trying it. But we need to come together and find out exactly what is that mindset, what is it that we all want, and then everybody goes out and do whatever they can. This is not a hierarchical system where somebody says, okay, let me be the leader and you follow. It's a movement. And we cannot create a movement if we don't come together and talk about what is important to us. Now, next month, I think it's the Hindu Heritage Month. Yeah, so, that's a great program. But in order to be active, to do our PR right, we need to prepare now for October 2026. So the campaign for the public relations begins way in advance. In fact, if you want to do this right, you have to start 2 years before. If I want to do a PR program for Heritage Month in 2027, I need to start now, not wait till September and then we're running around with a flurry of activities to do something. It doesn't work. And by the way, we've been doing this for almost 50 years. I mean, if you look at all the organizations that have started since the 1960s, I came in 1980. From 1980 to present, thousands of organizations emerged. Where are they? What have they done? So what are we really doing? We succeed in our fields, whether it's medicine or engineering or nowadays IT. We make some money and we want to give. So we start out with a very benevolent idea to give something back to the community. But that's where we stop, because that benevolence has no mileage because we fail to come together. Okay? So you find that some of these organizations that started, it really becomes sort of like, okay, now I've done really well, I have some money, I'll go on an ego trip. And this is where we fail to come together. I think if we can start saying, look, let's as a collective decide what is good for us on a long-term plan, not now, then we will actually overcome all of the challenges that we've been facing for 200 or 300 years. It's time we wake up. What we're doing is not working. And we need to realize that. We need to understand the history. We need to understand what others have done so that we don't repeat the same mistakes and maybe step up and find a way that we can do better. If we include our next generation, they have great ideas. We inspire them, bring them in, give them the ability to do it, empower them to take it forward. What I have been talking about so far has been crisis management. I haven't talked about legacy. What is our legacy? What are we giving the next generation? Are we doing something that the next generation can pick up from? Or we're giving them a fractured, scattered Sanatana Dharma systems that they can then carry on? I've been looking at this for many years, and I've been talking to leaders in India, and it's the same story. They have different issues. In Europe, they have different issues. Here also, I've been trying to talk to people. So I'm raising this concern to see whether we can actually step up our game a bit. Put our differences aside. Our differences are so valuable because it helps us be even better. I like differences. I like contradictions because then we are not stuck in one idea. When we have contradictions and conflict, it makes us better. So all of the different ideas are good, but we need to channel that in a strategic way to lead us to the next phase. Om Tat Sat. And I hope you all enjoy this conference. It is my pleasure to be here once again. And I'm also very happy to see some of the familiar faces. It feels like coming home every time I come to these conferences. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Swami Swatmananji, for this inspiring talk about today's reality. Next, I would like to call up Swami Bhaktiji Rakshaka, who encountered Sanatan Dharma at 18 through the Bhagavad Gita and has dedicated his life to studying and sharing Krishna Bhakti teachings. He travels between Bharat, Europe, and the Americas, serving as editor, researcher, speaker, spiritual guide, and currently as secretary of the Bhagavad Dharma Association. Please welcome Swamiji to the podium.
Vande Guru Nisha Bhaktan Isa Isavatarakam Tat Prakasham Statat Krishna Chaitanya Samyakam. So I feel myself fortunate to be here again in this meeting after participating last year. I came with the curiosity to see what is this meeting all about, where the Hindu mandirs and associations, organizations of the states come together. Actually, my working field is in South America, but I had the chance to come to the US, which is not the case for many of our fellow Sanatanis in South America due to the visa issues and like this. But I came because I wanted to see, okay, this is America, but is it only North America or where do we fit in? Because usually there is this axis of movement from Bharat to US of the immigration, to US and the other side, mostly within the rich countries of this world. So in this sense, South America is a little bit out of the focus, out of the vision, with some exceptions, Guyana and in the Caribbean, some islands where there's a very big community. But even though it's not so much in the focus, we don't hear so much. Actually, in the World Hindu Congress in Bangkok, I was there and I had the chance to present a little bit more in detail what is going on there in South America, also with some images and numbers and so on. You can find it in the internet if someone is interested to see a little bit and hear a little bit more about the work there. But it's a fact that I myself, as you can imagine, I don't come from a Sanatani background. My family, I was born in Austria, raised there. I have immigrant background, but from East Europe. So I came in contact somewhere in my life with Sanatan Dharma, with Bhagavad Gita as it is, by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And it was just the right book at the right moment for me to read. So we hear in this meeting and usually in these gatherings many concerns which are all valuable. Like Swamiji now presented, really a very broad and universal concerns. We hear local concerns, local communities, local temples. But I want to point out also one very important concern, and this is the individual concern. It's actually where everything starts, and I will, even though I don't like speaking so much about myself, but that's my experience, so it's not someone told me, it's something I went through, something I can give testimony of, how this wisdom has a very, very practical application and a very beneficial influence into a life of an individual. You see, I studied economic engineering. Well, in Austria, where I grew up, you have to decide at a certain age what you're going to do, and usually it's just a question of, okay, who told you what, and you know, sometimes parents are pressing into one direction or in another direction, whatever. In my case, it was not like that. But because my cousin, he was into technology, so by his influence, I said, okay, then let me also go this career. So I went something which was called economic engineering. It's not economy, it's not engineering, it's something in between. They say the economists, they want to achieve gains which are technically not possible, and those from the technological side, they want to do things which are not economically reasonable. So we were those who were supposed to bring these two things together. So I studied it for several years. And basically, the study there was based on a German system which was actually developed in the Second World War during the war industry. They had the great need to be very much productive for their war machinery. So it was actually about how to exploit the best way possible the human resources of work. Then on the other side, also I got aware that there's another aspect of life and whole our system which is based upon the natural resources. And then I understood somehow over the years studying and trying to become something which I more and more felt internally not identified with, to be someone who is just concerned how to exploit natural and human resources for achieving some benefit for a company. Not just some benefit, but to increase. And then I came at one point in my life to a logical conclusion. If the major goal of this whole system is to achieve unlimited progress, unlimited gain, always increasing, how we can achieve it with limited resources. Limited resources to achieve unlimited gain is illogical, is impossible. So then my internal search started. I don't want to be part of this system of exploitation, which anyway doesn't work, or it works only on the cost of some people somewhere. So it actually happened to become, over the time, a crisis, like a real existential crisis. No? What I'm going to do? No? How can I find something meaningful in life? I don't want to be part of the exploitation of this world and the people in this world. I felt also some internal resistance of just becoming someone indifferent to everything. So I felt the need, I want to dedicate myself to some purpose, higher purpose, something which will be beneficial for the world, which will be beneficial also for myself, for my consciousness. And just at that time is when I came in contact, I got the Bhagavad Gita and I started reading. And from that moment on, my whole life started to change. I started to read, and while I was reading, I started to feel, oh, this is actually the answer to the question I had before. It was just like something discovering, like a wisdom which was inherent somehow, but I had no words to express it. Some reaffirmation of, okay, this is the path to go. So then I continued into the reading, and of course, then I immediately went to Bharat because I thought that time that, oh, there is the origin of everything. So I have to go there, then it is more original, everything is more clear. After having some experiences and so on, I went back understanding, no, my spiritual path has to start the place where I was born, the place where I grew up, the place where I am. No need to go here and there, but to apply this wisdom where I am. No? So then I joined the temple at that time, and I continued in this path, having chance to meet great souls over the course of these years, listen from them, have the opportunity to serve them, learn from them. And then I ended up working in South America, where I discovered a completely new world of people who are so much favorable and so much open to this message of Sanatana Dharma, which is far beyond my dreams which I had before. Because we are going out in Europe, we are inviting people, then to bring someone to our temple, maybe 2 people per month, some new 2 people, this is a great success. When I came to South America, we had programs in our morning class, 70, 80 people sitting. Our Sunday program class, 500, 600 people sitting there and listening with great enthusiasm and with great faith. So since then, I stayed there. It's been now 20 years of work in South America, and also on behalf of the temples there, I had the chance to go and participate in all the different forums like here. So I listened to these global concerns, local concerns, but as I said, this individual concern means where there's the individual who feels the need to resolve certain things in life, and there is the wisdom which is the answer to these questions. Because I see it's a very common concern here, how to keep our youth. And actually, I'm very much enthusiastic also to listen. Last year, I was so much impressed by the youth with their presentations and so on, to see their enthusiasm. But these are few of our youth who come, but many, they are actually, and it's a fact, like losing more and more and more interest. Just coming here, I had a very, I would say, significant meeting at the airport of Bogota, Colombia. I came from there. So I was sitting there at the airport, and I saw one man coming around looking at me to talk to me or not. So I greeted him, and I said, oh yeah, Hare Krishna. He sat down. Say, oh, I saw you in the streets of Medellin. You were doing this Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. I was so happy to see it. Okay, so we came into a talk, speak. He told me, I'm Brahmin, Tamil Brahmin. He said, but I gave up my culture. Then we went deeper into the talk. I said, but why? And he gave many reasons, that he was intellectually not satisfied, that he saw many things which are completely incongruent in this world, religions supposed to create peace in this world, but actually creating wars and so on. So we had a nice talk. Everything I tried to give as an answer to his points, actually, he already knew my answer. He said, okay, you will answer this. He's coming from a field of programming, PhD, in some advanced AI development. So when I heard that, then somehow the conversation went on that side, and he started revealing some personal doubts. He said, I'm into this AI, and I can tell you, I can assure to you that within 10 to 15 years from now, 95% of the jobs will be done by machines. How do you feel about it? He asked me. So I was, a little bit shocked by this declaration. What does it mean? 95% of the people will have no jobs anymore. Okay, maybe they will live somehow. Maybe they will not die out from hunger, whatever. This is not the point. But to live without any motivation, without any purpose, without any ideal, something to dedicate your life to, is actually a very disastrous state of consciousness. As it is said, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. Idle mind means I have nothing to do, machines are doing everything. So actually this is a big challenge. Maybe now we are still not aware of it, but he told me within 10 to 15 years this is going to happen. And he said, I'm part of it. I know it. I'm developing it. And he asked me, should I feel bad about it or not? I feel that if I don't do it, someone else will do it. So I'm doing it. And in this way, I keep my consciousness calm. So I was really moved by this encounter and by this conversation that I started to think, okay, these are real life challenges, and it's global. And how to deal with it, how to confront it. Are we supposed to do something about it, or are we just supposed to say, okay, that's the way it goes, and we just go with it? Do we have anything to give to the people of this world, independent of their birth, race, nationality? Do we have something to offer them so that they keep still some purpose of life? Because in this world, you see many people are irreligious. Why? Because they're intelligent. Intelligent in a way that they see actually what the religions have done over the years. Intelligent because they see those who are preaching water are drinking wine. Means they don't live up to the standard of what they are speaking about. So they say, okay, that's not for me. So people went into science. They thought the science is like the answer to the blindness of the religious beliefs of the past. But they did the science in the same blind way. Means this is the only truth. So either it's the religious or it's the scientific. They say he has two pairs of shoes, they say. They don't go together. So this is actually, in this modern world, very much common. Either you believe or you know, they say. But this world where either you believe or you know, we see where it goes to. It leads the humanity into a state of consciousness where the machines will do everything, and they don't know, they don't have anything to do. I know it from first-hand experience in many European countries. People get this social help. If they don't have work, they get social help, get some money, get some food, get some home. They live there, have nothing to do. But this is stagnation of consciousness. It's just like some type of implosion of consciousness. It actually leads the people into a very diseased state of mind. So is there any way out? No? In one of the translations in the Srimad Bhagavatam of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, today happens to be actually the 60th anniversary of his coming to the Western world, with all his books and translations which have changed my life and the lives of many hundreds and thousands of other people, giving them some meaning. He said that this transcendental literature is meant to bring a revolution in the impious life of a misdirected civilization. So for me, this sounds something very exciting and something which I myself deposit faith into. That transcendental literature coming from Bharat has the potency to change practically the destiny of the world. To bring about the revolution in a misdirected, impious life of a misdirected civilization. Misdirected civilization means those who think that we can achieve unlimited progress and gain based in limited resources. Those who think that we can achieve happiness only by the scientific research and the scientific development, and leaving out completely the concerns of our soul, of our heart. So this soul and heart concerns means this is the spiritual concern. And spiritual concern doesn't at all exclude science. So you see, this is one of the greatest features of the Vedic tradition, that science, philosophy, theology, arts, all this go together, all come together for the same purpose, for the purpose of elevating the consciousness of the people. To show them that life has a meaning, life has a purpose. There is origin of life. And because there is an origin of life, there's also goal of life. These ideas which many people go around, there was nothing, out of some reason happened something and the universe appeared. And now we are here like the top of this evolutionary development, the new modern humans who are trying now to become even more human, the next level human, which means where the humans are merging together with machines, going into where? Into complete forgetfulness of the soul. So therefore, this message of the soul, this message of elevating the soul, elevating the consciousness, is most important now, most important. And I feel, this is my personal observation, when people, especially speaking now about our youth, when they see that actually what they have is something which is valuable, not something which they have to hide from others, which happens very often when they go to schools, when they go into environments which are not based on their culture. They don't have to hide. Next step would be, okay, they can show themselves. But I would say even further they can go, not just to show themselves. They can be sure that what they have is something which is of a great benefit for everyone else. So when they feel this, that's good for me, I understand it, I identify with it, I see that these are some answers I got from my parents, from my seniors, from my guru, from my authorities, make sense for me. So how can I translate it to others so that it makes sense also to them? So this is an experience, we saw it. When you have something which is of value for others, then you start appreciating it more. Or as the saying says, if you don't give what you have, you're going to lose it. So this losing of identity comes together with not giving it to others. So as Swamiji spoke, all these concerns, how to come together, how to have strategies and so on, I think this is most important for all of us and also for our youth to understand actually the value of what they have. And then to see also how to give this to others. Because this is not something limited to Bharat, to this place or that place. This is a universal science, universal wisdom, and also universal spirituality. Because as we know, by soul, there is no body, there are no these designations which are there. But this knowledge about the soul is not so widespread. To many, many other places you see, only material knowledge is being transferred. And so, but where to get this spiritual knowledge? Of course, temples are the center places. And around temples, also other initiatives, as the schools we heard, and so on. So that's where we can get it, that's where we can practice it, that's where we can deepen it. But also we should think how to give it to others, to all the others. But of course, strategy is necessary. We have to understand this. We must do. I liked it very much, means you must do. Or we must unite. But how to unite? Based on which principles? Okay, we have this good experience when someone is misrepresenting some of our teachings, some of our scriptures, and so on. Then we immediately all together come and say, no, this should not be done. Like some movies, sometimes they do some images or like this, no? Immediately we jump together. That's a natural function. But then, when we come together, okay, how we can find what is this column around which we can all really unite together? Because even though, yes, we have the same column, which is Veda, but you will see many, many interpretations there, many opinions there, how to harmonize this and how to put our focus on where we really have common things. Because we can speak about so many differences, but how we can find the common things, because common is so important. I'll give you an example, which shows actually how much we are missing this common understanding. Like in Vrindavan Dham, one of our places where we go for pilgrimage, after this COVID time and so on, it became so much popular, this place, that many, many people are going, thousands and thousands of people, and increasing and increasing and increasing. So you can imagine, into one place, so many people going. So this is like for the local infrastructure and so on, it's like a big challenge. And everyone is inviting you, come to my temple, you come to my temple, you come to my temple, no? But no one is thinking, okay, how to process all this, starting with the garbage which is being produced. The other day, someone came to me. He was in one program, in one parikrama pilgrimage. So he stayed in one temple. So they were distributing prasad. And he's European, so in Europe there's so much concern with the plastic and so on, with the garbage. So after the prasad, so he was going with the plate to see where to put the plate. And then one Swamiji in charge of this temple, he said, no, come. So he brought him up to the roof and said, throw over there. So he was so reluctant to do it, no? Why? Because this was the compound of the neighboring temple. So, but we had to do, he cannot pack it now and take back to wherever, find. So at the end he did, but he felt so bad. Because we come here to respect the Dham. The Dham is sacred place for everyone. And this is our temple, we keep it nice, clean, no? And then neighbors, we just, throw away to him. So what he will do, he will throw to the other, he will throw to the other, he will throw to the other. So it's some type of recycling, but not very much efficient, you know? So what can be done? Means, no, all the temples, they have to come together and they have to speak about these concerns. So you can have 5, 10 temples in one road. They have common concerns. Maybe they worship different deities. They say, this is my faith, this is your faith, okay. But if we need clear water to come, then it's for all of us the same concern. We can speak about it. If we need waste management, yeah, we can speak about it. If we need security, we can speak about it. There are so many things in common which we have to speak about. But if we go too much, what I also saw over the years, stressing too much on the differences, no? Then even these most basic needs are not met. And then, yes, we are presenting to the outside world the great ancient philosophy, wisdom, and so on, and then they will say, okay, but how do you do? What's your efficiency in just these ordinary things? No? So in this way, no, when we come together, we have to see, okay, what is common, around which points we can unite, and the diversity which is there, how we can respect it, how we can honor it. Because I know sometimes some people have the need to impose their faith on others. I mean, I come from a field where we are really going out into the streets, distributing literature, presenting this, no? And I was always a little bit reluctant to do this in a proselytizing manner. Like, okay, your faith is nothing, I will impose my faith to you or something like that. No, we do it as a type of invitation. Please, you come, you listen, you consider. And we have achieved great success in this. People are very much appreciative if it's just like an invitation for them to come. So this way to invite, to come together, no? Also amongst us, we have to come together. We have to speak, no? And we have to speak about the common points, and we have to develop these strategies as Swamiji was speaking. But of course, this requires time. I think if we come together and sit 7 days, then we will say we need 7 days more, or maybe 7 months. So it is actually a continuous process, no? Which already by coming together, some success is there. By feeling the desire and need to continue, more success is there. And if we continue, then more success will be there. So I'm looking forward into, I would say, this bright future of Sanatana Dharma here and in all parts of the world, because this is my personal conviction that is actually the source which can really give answer to the needs and the questions of the humanity in this point. So I close my words here, and if anyone has any further interest to hear, I mean, some stories about South America, which are really like wild stories here with us, is Sri Rangapuri. He joined this movement 1979. He was into prison for promoting Sanatana Dharma. He was persecuted. He was so many other things. No, just to mention few of these experiences, you cannot believe actually with how much determination and enthusiasm these people in South America, which is also America, have accepted and represented Sanatana Dharma. And we hope also one day we will be able to invite you so that we can come all together there in these beautiful countries so that you can also meet these beautiful people. Hare Krishna. Vishwarupa Prabhu, he's from Ecuador, Quito, Ecuador. Also long-standing member of our community there. He has a temple there. And stand up. He's been participating also in the World Hindu Congress with us since the first one in Delhi, and great enthusiast for the Sanatana Dharma cause. Thank you.
Jai Bolo Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you so much to Swami Swatmananji and Swami Bhaktiji Rakshaka for your thought-provoking words. Your message has awakened a fire among all to continue working for the Hindu diaspora. Now I would like to call upon Vallabhaji to give us further instruction.
Thank you, Mayuresh. Thank you to both our esteemed keynote speakers. Thank you so much for this inspiring and very enriching keynote address. Thank you. Now I request Shri Murli Bhattarji and Subhadracharya ji from Aurora Temple, Balaji Temple, Aurora. They have got the prasadam, and they will be handing it to myself and Tejal ji, and it will be distributed to all the attendees of this conference. And then as soon as this happens, we are going to take a break, tea break for 15 minutes, and then we'll come back. Thank you.
श्रियःकान्ताय कल्याणनिधये निधयेऽर्थिना श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय ते नमः वृषशैलाधिपये वदैवतन्नः वृषभादीश्वरये वदैवतन्नः पणिशैलाधिपये वदैवतन्नः भगवान् वेङ्कटये वदैवतन्नः श्री श्रीनिवास कुलदैवतन्नः श्री श्रीनिवासः परदैवतन्नः श्री श्रीनिवास परमन्ददन्नः श्री श्रीनिवासः परमागदन्नः. Today is Saturday, very auspicious. Venkataramana Govinda Balaji Bhagavan ki.
Thank you, Swamiji and Acharya ji, both of you. Thank you so much. It's a 15-minute break, and just 5 minutes before the break ends, our wonderful MCs will start giving you the reminders. I request you to honor those reminders and come back so that we are on track. Fortunately, we are on track. We are just about 10 minutes running behind schedule, so we want to keep it like that. So thank you so much for joining us in this morning session. Thank you. Yes, there is chai and there is some snacks to give you our mid-morning sugar rush, and also there is bottled water, and there is water in that orange can there. So if you have your bottle from yesterday, you can fill it up. We are just trying to be a little bit eco-sustainable at this point. We don't want to waste the water, half left bottles here. So there is bottled water, and then there is an orange can. Please help yourself.